Mm, mm, mm. I rarely go through the book. Every now and then I try to figure out what did I say. This book here, a lot of you have already, The Four Women That Men Desires on Amazon.com. I talk about the issues dealing with men. Women often ask me, why you write this book? You don't know nothing about no women's. What you know about us? This book ain't about you. This book is about men as it pertains to you. You see, reading is fundamental. At the top here it says Men's Chronicles. You can't see it because it's kind of bright. Men's Chronicles. Then it says A Woman's Guide to Men, not a man's guide to woman. I'm leaving that up to you women. Y'all can write that story. But I wrote that this is a guide for you women to study men as we study you, because the center of man's attraction is the woman. God put you here as a helpmeet for us, and what you say and what you do around us has a lot to do with our mental state of being. All right, volume 1. So this here is pretty much the manual for the other volumes that came along. I want to talk about this book here. It's not about this book today, but I'm going to reference the book in short and talk about the emotional instability of men. Because a lot of you don't know, and I know at the end of at the end of every show, I play the commercial from the woman telling y'all to buy the book. All right. A lot of y'all don't know that the second book came out, Lola, Lady of Sorrow, the side chick, because I talked about her in the first book. All right. So this book here talks about, this is Lola right here. I made sure that these particular pictures depicted how men look at these women. This right here is the side chick because of how her stance. And then the second girl is Bella, beautiful. She is the mistress. And notice how romantically involved he is with her, how he's looking at her in her eyes. I made sure that is the depiction of the mistress, you see. Because volume 3 is this girl here, Phoebe, main squeeze, usually the wifey. He's kissing her. There's a difference between the two. The last volume would be this girl here. That's the crazy girl right there. That one right there. Look how she's dressed. I talk about that in the book. Okay. And then there's The Secret Life of Adeline. This is a co-wrote book by myself and the clock keeper, Amber Burtz. Right? The cover is a woods. Something vicious happens in the woods. I had a dream. This book came about because of a dream I had. And I said, I can't write this book by myself. But the dream I had has a lot to do with the instability of men. We are unstable for various reasons, and I want to talk about that on this show and find out maybe y'all are dealing with that same man. I may sound a little bipolar today to kind of throw you off a little bit. I don't care. All right, Ruth Collins, let us end the show. 60 seconds.
Show that will get you thinking where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether you agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say. So Walter Jones, he's got something to say. So Walter Jones, Sirwalterj Jones Show. Come on in, the water is fine. Do. Hello, Walter Jones. Sirwalterj Jones Show. It is the evening edition, baby. Come on in. The water's the water's fine.
Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm he. It is the evening edition, like the girl said. The girl said it already, all right? Come on in. The water is fine. You can't stand the bunkers. The bunkers are, they need to see us shrink. All right, y'all, listen. Let's talk about this here. Because this is something that is, I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call today's show. Crazy Ruth. I don't know if Ron is here. Ron always go to bed early. You know, I've been trying to play what Ron sent me for weeks, but the boy go to bed. He act like he's an old man who's always cold. He's always cold, so the heat is up. His temperature. I bet you Ron heat is on 90 degrees right now. I bet you it's on 90. He cold. He getting ready to go to bed. It's 9 o'clock right now. Right now, his body is tearing him up because it's saying, you should have been in the bed at 6 o'clock. And he's probably getting ready to retire and move down to Florida. All right, so let's talk about this emotional unstableness here. He gonna get me too for that. He gonna get me for that. All right. Listen, pastors. Can we talk about preachers first? Who do we want to start with? You know what? I was watching the Candace Owens show on PragerU. PragerU is one of the most there's some hidden stuff on PragerU that a lot of you African Americans don't understand. There's an agenda. PragerU have an agenda. And every time they bring in a black person, the agenda is like Fox News. The agenda is to bring someone who look like you to talk against you. That's the whole PragerU situation. All right. So here on this episode, she have Mark Lamont Hill on this episode. Okay, plug this in. She's got Mark Lamont Hill on, and how do I say this? A broke clock is correct how many times, y'all? How many times? Candace Owens, in many cases, is correct. She is correct on a lot of things she say about black people. The problem with being correct is the intent of why you correct. That's right. Broke clock. Right. Twice. Twice a day. So Candace is correct twice. Prager is one of the most, covertly racist universities with an agenda to slice through the heart. Yeah, exactly. And it's not really a university. It's not really a university. It's one of them things. It's like the Sunday school university. It's not really a university. You can't get, somebody asked me, okay, when I get through with the Sunday school university, am I going to get college credits and then I can get my master's degree? No, brother, I don't think you understand how this works. So she asked him a question, and his answer was disturbing.
It doesn't mean that we don't have.
Can men get pregnant?
Depends. I know.
What does it depend on?
I know trans men that can get pregnant.
That means it's a woman. Only one sex can get pregnant.
That's a circular argument. That's begging the question.
This cracks me up. It just cracks me up. Can men get pregnant? Depends. Really? That requires a yes or no answer. There's nothing in between when it comes to that answer. Nothing. Can men get pregnant? No. Period. Hey, Jerome, you got to go in books. When you go to Amazon, go to type in the name and put in books, and then you'll see all the books.
Argument. It's proving my thing. There is a truth, a concrete truth. You have to be born with a uterus to have a baby. Only women can get pregnant. The fact that we've arrived in a society where
Right, and that's the part I'm disagreeing with. That's the part I'm disagreeing with.
There's nothing to disagree with it. These are facts. So you can say that this person who is pregnant identifies as a man. That person was born a woman. I can tell you that every single time because only women can have sex because there are concrete truths about life.
Have babies.
Can have babies, pardon. And that is a hard truth about life. You cannot make that go away because you want to call a man, somebody who has a beard and dresses like a dude a woman. Only if it's pregnant, I can tell you exactly what it is. It's a woman.
So I'll give you, let's go back to the social construct thing because then it'll answer the thing you just said. I'm not ignoring what you just said. I want to tie it together. So the idea of, my point was that a social construct doesn't ignore physical realities, right? The social construct is about how we as a society make sense of those physical realities, right? So, for example, you said we're black, sure, right? I'm trying to think of you pick a light-skinned black person, right? They're black, right? We'd agree on that. Mm-hmm. Now let's go to the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. Let's go to PR. Let's go to Puerto Rico. Let's go to Jordan. Let's go to Iraq. Let's go to Sudan. Let's go to Ghana, right? And let's go to South Africa. I'm picking these places very specifically because they have different racial logics and racial paradigms. And what it means to be black here, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a universal blackness, right? That if in Dominican, there might be 5 different other racial categories, right? And there are some light-skinned black folk here who, when they go to Ghana, get basically seen as white, right? Because of how we socially construct it. Doesn't mean my biology changed. Doesn't mean my physical reality changed, but how society engages this stuff is what makes it a social construct.
Wow.
And he just stepped on his own argument.
I mean, this is like the brother said here, Nick Taylor, he just stepped on his own argument. This is some of the most disturbing stuff. Unbalance. When you all get caught up into a lot of the worldly devices. Now he's always, Mark Lamont Hill, always been a worldly man, all right? When you all get caught up in all of this social stuff and political stuff, and join these subgroups and Black Lives, and you're so pro-black that you walked away from God. Some of you are pro-white based off of your wanting this superior. You have a superior attitude. Okay, we'll talk about that this week. I can't stomach how you try to explain how stupid your answer is till you start walking around in a circle. You start walking around in a circle trying to explain yourself. So now this is a obviously worldly situation. But I want to talk about preachers here because preachers, I'm noticing that I'm having the same problem with. Okay, preachers. Let me go into Facebook. All right. This is the fight, the video that everybody's sending me for the past couple of days. So just know I am in media. If you're sending me something that's very controversial, 20 people have already sent it to me. All right. And let's go here.
That's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on. Come on. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John Nick. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. Mother, oh, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon Ian, it's not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. I even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters.
First of all, he looked like he got a Jerry curl. Number one. Number two, he looked like sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate. Okay. Number three, this is why so many men go into pastoring, so that they can receive, so they can get. And how many of you are part of churches that every time you turn around there's an anniversary for a pastor? Either he has an anniversary or then he gets money on the first Sunday, and then he receives the tithe, and then he receives, back when I was coming up, they did what's called pounds, okay, and then he has a nice parsonage allowance, and all right, he doesn't pay much taxes. Okay, I mean, pastors really rack up in America, not just America, Africa, and some of the other countries. Oh my God, you can become a millionaire, obviously, being a pastor, and you don't have to be a part of a mega church. A lot of this is the problem of the black church and the white church, obviously, but I'm talking to the black audience here mostly. A lot of this is the problem based off of you all misunderstanding of what the pastor's worth is, or what should he receive, or what have you. They overly emphasize 1 Timothy, where is that, y'all? Chapter 5, about giving these men are worth a double honor, the muzzle not the ox, okay? And so those who teach in the word should receive. All right, and so it's not just talking about pastors exclusively. It just means anybody who's teaching in the word, all right, he should be able to pull from it. The Apostle Paul then said, listen, I have every right to pull from it. He says, but I don't pull from it. I do not use the right that God has given me to pull from y'all. So what did Paul do instead? He did two things. Number one, he went out there and worked for himself. He was a tent maker. And he went out there and hustled. That's how he made his money. All right. Number two, he did receive, but he took the money from one church and gave it to another church, the Church of Jerusalem and the Church of Macedonia. Come on, Romandus P. Moore, blessings to you. He said he doesn't represent 90% of us that work bivocational, who do so to help. There it is. See, while I'm talking, Pastor Moore was speaking what I was saying. He is correct. Elders who lead effectively are worthy of double honor, especially those who work hard. Notice the word or the title, elders. It doesn't mean it has to always be your pastor, because I know other ministries who have other pastors that are in the church. There's a senior pastor, and there's pastors over certain ministries in that church, and many of them are on payroll. Now, usually those are more of the mega churches, but I was a part of that. I was pastor of music. You understand? There's a youth pastor of one of the churches I was part of. We had a pastor over those who were substance abuse and things like that, pornography and all the stuff that they were dealing with. There was a pastor who was over that and had a separate church in the same building, but had separate church for those who were struggling with those type of things, and they were on salary. So they were doing exactly what 1 Timothy chapter 5 said. This man here have been coddlified. All right, this is like Baby Huey. This man here, what I just played here. And the problem is not so much that man. The problem are the members. Come on, remind yourself, elders, that WORK. The problem is the members. The members are the ones that's causing this problem. The members are the ones who are saying, hey, man, go ahead, Pastor. You're right. Walking up to him and fanning him and hitting him with whatever. Hey, go ahead. And that is what that's doing, is co-signing what he's saying, which makes the other members in that church feel like, okay, maybe we are wrong. Maybe we need to buy him a Gucci bag. This is the greed that God is going to judge the church on, and it's really sad. And then in walks in this preacher here. Again, I'm talking about the unstable, emotionally unstable men, and they're in the pulpits right now. Winston-Salem and pastor who lost his church to foreclosure in 2019 tells his members to kiss his you-know-what. Okay, right here. There is a video. The church did eventually take it down, but obviously, y'all don't realize when you put videos up, social media is going to grab it and save it forever. And here it is right here.
It ain't always moving as fast as I want this thing to move. But I tell you one thing, I got so much faith, can't nothing turn me away. I tell y'all that. I got so much courage and boldness. I believe God's gonna do everything God told me, and can't nobody convince me of anything any different. And I need somebody who will ride or die with me. If you ain't ready to ride or die, keep your behind where you are. But if you're ready to ride or die with me and go all the way, I tell you, get on your feet and give God a praise like you mean it. Well, don't play with me. If you ain't with me, you ain't got to clap. If you ain't with me, don't be fake and phony. I want the real folk to say something back to me. To hell with all the fake folk. I'm looking for real folk in this season. I ain't playing games no more. You can kiss my... I ain't got time to play church. We got too much God wants to do. I'm sick of fake and phony Negroes. I'm sick of fake and phony members who talk one thing and do something else. If you ain't with me, get your butt out the door. I don't need you here. The reason why we can't move this church because I still got too many fakers in the pews. You need to get real and get with me. And I'm calling every Negro out who don't walk with me no more. If you ain't real, leave me alone. I don't need you. I only need God and the real folk. I work too hard. I pray too hard. I'm too touchable. And y'all still worried about what folks say in the streets. That's why they in the streets. They ain't here. Today ain't the day the buck stop here. It's the first Sunday, and this is a new month, and it's a new thing. It's the 8th month. And me as co-pastor are ready to roll. I don't need no more fake folk. Not one. Not one. And if you think if you leave we ain't gonna make it, watch it. I had over 500 Negroes to leave me over the last 2 years, and they thought I was gonna crumble. But you out of your mind. Do you know who I am? I am anointed Bishop Sheldon Mandel McCarter. And can't nobody knock me out. I got too many lives, and God got his hands on me.
You Negroes.
You know, I'm just like Paul in Acts 28 when the snake bit him. The Bible said that folks sat around and watched to see if he was gonna die. He said, but after they watched a great while, they had to to change their minds and say, I know he's a God. But guess what? I'm not a God, but I am anointed. That's why I ain't dead. That's why the devil couldn't kill me. That's why when they took our church, we still survived. And that's why in about 6 months, it won't be enough space.
But they took the church, didn't they? Oh, man, how do I make commentary on that? The most disturbing part was the Hammond B3 organ. That thing was screaming. I said, Jesus, turn it off. It's so disturbing. The church is so disturbing. That's why we can't win nobody. We can't win nobody. Now, let me go to Larry. Larry to the Reed says something that made sense since the time he been going
Totally
live.
new.
All right. Larry L. Reed. Larry Reed Live. Larry, I don't know, LRL. He made a comment on the preacher Carlton Funderburk, who was the one who told y'all ain't buying me nothing. Why y'all ain't buying me no stuff? So as I painstakingly through terror and disease watch the Larry Reed show, you know you have to watch it with fear and trembling. As I watched, I heard him say this one phrase and then I got it. I understood why he cusses on this show. And he says some of the most vulgar things that even I can't stomach. Makes sense now. And let me play it for you. And if you don't listen closely, you miss it.
I know it may sound preposterous, but this is Christianity, and it's our faith. And you don't have to believe what we believe. I'm a Christian. This ain't no Christian show, but I am a Christian.
There it is. Did y'all hear it? Did you miss it? I didn't miss it. It all makes sense now. Why in the world would you put all his money and effort into a project like this? And all these Christians show up. And you talk about Bible stuff, tithes. Usually a lot of his stuff is built around prosperity, what have you. And you constantly bring in, then you got the Bishop Jordan comes on every now and then, and Carlton, and I mean all these religious people. And it's not a Christian show. So basically, you've been entertaining. What he said prior to this is, I had to go back to pastoring. He said I was pastoring, but then I left pastoring, went into the entertainment world, and I was entertaining until I realized there was a pool on me, so I went back to pastoring because I was entertaining. Man, I don't think y'all missing it.
You don't have to believe what we believe. I know it may sound preposterous, but this is Christianity, and it's our faith. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to believe what we believe. Mm-hmm. I'm a Christian. This ain't no Christian show, but I am a Christian. You don't.
That's all I need to hear. That's all I need. All right? It's really a shame. But he's telling y'all the truth. At least he's telling y'all the truth. See, I can respect a man who tells the truth. He lets me know who he is. You knew I was a snake when you took me home, is the old joke. Okay? So what do we do with all of this? All right. Let's try and figure out, because I want to play TD Jakes in a minute. There's an article here dealing with, do I have it here? There's an article here dealing with unstable men. And you'll have to really read it with the grain of salt. 15 signs he's not as emotionally well adjusted as he seems. Larry Reed has this issue. The two preachers that I preach have this issue. Your pastor is not emotionally stable. Many of your pastors, your fathers are not stable. Your fiance, boyfriends, and your husband is not as emotionally stable as you think he is, as he comes across as being. Yesterday we talked about Patrick Wooten. All right? He's not as emotionally stable. And I know it might be some of y'all's pastors, but I'm sorry to tell y'all the truth. I don't think he is as emotionally stable as y'all say he is. I talk about Kojic all the time. I had a big fight with Talbot Swan. Me and Talbot Swan went at it fist to fist on social media. Oh, we went hard, because I don't know why these preachers think that just because I'm an elder and you are a bishop that you're greater than me. I'm not greater than you. You ain't greater than me. We on the same plane. Pull out your license, and it both your license say elder, mine says elder. We got the same license. Whatever happened to you after that, that's between you and the men who put you up in that pedestal and put a purple robe on you. That's between you and those men. Outside of that, we on the same plane. You ain't greater than me. And when I see and hear that you're doing something that is non-biblical, I'm gonna let you know, bruh. No sir. And then you get your Talbot Swan got his heart, his emotions got in the way. I broke his heart because I said it on Facebook because he said something ridiculous, and so I rebuked him. And then he went on his page and rebuked me. And then his people started to come on my wall, and you could tell some of the sissies came over. Oh, did I say that? I sound like the Kojic woman, Mother Kelly. Mother Kelly. All right, and so some of the non-masculine came over to my wall in the comment section. You know how what happens. When people are following. That's why I tell the bunkers, you don't have to protect me. You don't have to go nowhere and try to protect whatever I say. When people come after me, let the word do the work. You never have to protect me. We're good. I know Edward said YouTube gonna block you, sir. And so they came on my wall and they started doing the gay stuff. And then he started to do stuff on his wall, and then I went over there to express myself on his wall, and then he deleted my comment. I said, "Oh, I see what's going on here. Your heart. you don't want people to see that I can come over here and disagree with you. I mean, the best things for you to have done was just block me, so people would never see me. Then, if you block me, then I'm gonna have to tell them on my page, the brother blocked me. What does that say?" So that went on all day, and then I finally said, my spirit said, okay, I need to stop that. I need to stop fighting with this bishop. And I'm tired of fighting with Kojic bishops, all right, especially in the public. I shouldn't be doing that. So I went in his inbox, and I threw out a white, a flag. Is that what y'all call it? An olive. I threw an olive branch. I said, brother, listen, we should not be doing this. Let's come together. Let's meet. Let's talk. Here's my phone number. Let's talk. He wasn't hearing none of it. So I don't care who you are. My last name is Jones, And every Jones in my family is bold as hell. Bold. It comes from my great-grandfather. Bold. And they too had to stand up against bishops. From J.O. Patterson to L.H. Ford to, well, G. Patterson was a good one, so we really didn't have no problem with him. We had to stand up. I saw my grandfather standing up against these men. And those men had to back up and say, okay, yeah, you know what, biblically, y'all are right. Okay, you're right. And, you know, but y'all just thought just because the baby boom was down, a lot of them are dying off, that there's no Joneses, we don't die, we multiply. If I see some mess, I'm going to say it. And I don't care who you are. And all of your little circus people going to come on my wall and start hacking or what have you. I don't care. Don't bother me. It don't bother me at all. Let your face be as flint. Stand strong. Boldness. And this is why in Acts chapter 4 is when these preachers, the apostles, John and James or Peter, you know, they were bold, and the Holy Spirit filled them with boldness and gave them the boldness not to preach against the world. They were preaching against these men who were in the temple. The temple. The priests and the high priests and all, and the temple guards and all these people, the Levites and the priests and all these people, they were preaching against these men. I don't care. Crucify me. For God I live and for God I die. I don't care. They're already coming in the YouTube and Facebook comments now. Look at it. These men I just got to talk about, their members are already in the comment section. You think I care? I know how to ignore folks. Some of y'all don't know how to ignore folks. Just ignore them. So right here, 15 signs he's not as emotionally well-adjusted as he seems. Your pastor is not stable. That's why these men act a fool the way they do. Out in the open, they ain't stable. They need help, but unfortunately, you are coddling them. You're coddling them. You're creating these monsters. His relationship with his mother is borderline inappropriate. He got mama problems. And a lack of father issues. And it's your pastor. Got mommy, daddy issues. I don't care if he's 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. He got issues. Does his mom act like a jealous girlfriend around you? Yes. You have a problem. And that went on through his life, and now that he's older, she may not be in his life anymore, but it's too late. It has been etched inside of him now. He's got issues. He's moody. Everyone can get a little moody from time to time, but he is vacillating from overjoyed happiness to extreme depression. This isn't a good sign. It's a sign that he's emotionally unstable. He go from one side to another, almost as if he's a bipolar. I live with that, y'all. I lived with that. Blessings to you, Brother Blood. Thank you for the super chat. I live with that stuff. Number 3, when it comes to cracking jokes, he really thin-skinned. A guy who's stable can deal with a little teasing at his expense. If he flips out because you joked about his hair or his taste in clothing, you need to back away fast. That's what happened when I went against this bishop. He couldn't take it. You could dish it out, but you can't take it. This is often an indicator of a guy who will get violent later. His people even got violent with me. All this threatening mess. Number 4, he tries to monopolize all your time. This is a sign of cleanliness and neediness. Bad enough on his own. But it's also a sign that he may be codependent, personality disorder. Y'all, all of you preachers need to get you the DSM-5. I have a copy over there in my office. Get it. Go to Amazon. Buy it. If you are a leader, an elder, pastor, apostle, bishop, teacher, get the DSM-5. Read through it. Find out there's some stuff going on in here. And the mentality of the saints that God has entrusted you over. You better study, because everything is not spiritual. Everything is not spiritual. Number 5, he's ready to lock it down ASAP. Though it may be thrilling to see a guy who wants to commit to you right off the bat, there's something very worrisome about it. If he's already taken babies by date 2, talking babies, bail. This is often a sign of mental illness or personality disorder. He already locked down. Now, I rarely see that happening. 6, he's an addict. I want to point out that there's a difference between a drug user and a drug addict. If you can okay, this right here, I'm smelling so much weed among the saints. I don't know what to do. How is it? I can't understand. How is it that I'm driving in my car with the windows up and 6 cars ahead of me, I can smell the weed? I can't understand how is it that when I walk in the church, it smells like the temple was being dedicated by Solomon, and the smoke filled the temple till I couldn't stand the minister because I was too high. I was too high. I just don't understand how y'all are so hooked on weed. Where did this come from? That is a mental issue. Weed is a mental issue. It's mental and social. It's a problem. You've got a problem. I don't care about the health. Y'all talking about some weed is healthy. God made it, put it in the ground. It's okay if you smoke it or eat it, blah, 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 blah. No, you are an addict. You could be addicted to food. You could be addicted to porn. You could be addicted to sports. And you could be addicted to weed. You are an addict. He makes you feel like he's doing you a big favor just by being around him. This is a major indicator that something is wrong. You shouldn't ever feel like he's settling just by being around you. 8, he doesn't seem to show emotions at all. Some of you who are married to a man say this to me. Yeah. He doesn't seem to be emotional at all. While most of these red flags seem to be focused on emotions that are just way out of control, this sign is one that overlooked because it's so hard to notice. If he doesn't seem to register emotions, that should be there. It should be there. Such a blank stare. When something horrible happens, run, Forrest, run if you can. If he's stuck, then you're gonna have to get him some help. Number 9, there's a lot of self-hatred in him. Does he seem so viscerally disgusted by who he is? That's not a good sign, because well-adjusted people don't have that bad of an attitude towards themselves. Y'all, I don't think y'all understand that. That's important. Number 9 is extremely important. I am the most happiest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm in my mid-50s. I am the most happiest I've ever been in my entire life, which means I have been an emotional wreck all my life. And I finally got it right. I thought I required a woman to be emotionally balanced. But no, I didn't require a woman to be emotionally balanced. The woman that I required was something that I needed to help me to live a nice, good life, happy life, what have you. That helped me. But when I got married, I thought that it was going to help me, but actually it made it worse. But I realized it wasn't me being married that made it worse. It was the one I married made it worse, because she too was an emotional wreck. So 2 emotionally wrecked people came together in holy matrimony, and that marriage was a disaster. So would having a woman who understands me be a benefit in my life? You best believe. God, when he created woman, he pulled Eve out of Adam. He did one of the greatest things that he could ever do is give Adam that woman. Yes, he did. And more than likely, I will not die without having another ring on my finger. More than likely, a guy like me, I may not go to my grave without another ring on my finger. Why? Because I understand the importance of having a helpmate. But I'm saying the other part to say, I thought I needed a wife to help me stay stable. Well, it would have been nice to have one. Even right now, it would be nice to have one. But I am more happy than I've ever been in my life, not because I'm so content not having a wife. I'm just more content than I was. Do you understand? I realized that I need to be made whole before I push myself into a woman's life. I knew that the problem that my wife was having was that she needed help, but the person who came to rescue her needed help. That was me. So I was trying to take my 50% and link up with her 50%, and we jacked up. The music industry got it right. When two people come together with a song, they collaborate with a song, I get 100% of the royalties, they get 100% of the royalties. You're like, huh? Isn't it 50-50? Yeah, it's 50-50 of the 100. You're like, huh? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. We both wrote the song. We get $100 for royalties. So I get $50 from the royalties. He gets $50 of that royalties. My royalty statement says you have been paid 100%. Huh? Yes. You have been paid 100% of your partnership. The music industry got it right. You have been given 100% of your agreement. So this is how people should come together. I got 100%. I have been made whole. My agreement with God is I have been made whole. I've been made perfect, as the scriptures may say. I'm whole in God. I'm mature in the Lord. I'm 100%. So I'm going to find somebody else who's 100%. I'm not looking to take care of somebody who's a baby, who needs coddling, or who needs to be weaned, who needs diapers and all that stuff. No. I want somebody who can pour into me as I pour into them. My partnership is 100%, 100%. And we can share the bed. I got 50% of the bed, she got 50% of the bed. Y'all better hear me. So I have been made whole over the many years, and now with that wholeness that I have and my happiness now, I now can introduce myself to someone in holy matrimony, and we gonna be all right. That which means my life will be even greater. It's a greater step. Holy matrimony will be a greater step for me. Y'all better hear me. I'm gonna elaborate on that in a minute. Each collaborator is full owner in the copyright. Come on, and Deanne Matthews wrote a couple books on copyrights. I got them over here. I always keep them near, Deanne Matthews. I always keep your books near. Go back to reference them when people need to hear it. 100%. Y'all better hear me. So there's a lot of self-hatred in him. 10, nothing is his fault. Like, nothing? Man, please. The older I get, the more mistakes I realize that I have made and I'm still making. His exes were all abusive. I never speak so negative about my exes that you think that I'm perfect. I screwed up my relationships, all of them. I did that. Y'all better hear me. I don't care what she did. She did some negative things, yes. She caused some issues, yes. But a lot of things that she did was because she was reacting to something that I either did or something I did not do, meaning I didn't take action. And then you men are taught that you are the high priest of your home. No, you're not. You're not the high priest. Jesus is the high priest, and you excommunicated him from the home. So he made you a priest of your home. And so do some priestly stuff. And when you don't do it, then the woman got to step in and act like she the priest then. Now she's stepping into a place she don't belong. And then you get upset because she's doing stuff that she think is, well, there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. Dear Liza, there's a hole. And that's why then women start taking on this role of I'm the mother and the father. Well, you can't be. But the woman have to say it. She thinks she have to say it now because the man is not taking care of their fatherly role. In walked this Candace Owens interview here where he's saying men can't get pregnant. Y'all better hear me. So women are trying to do stuff that they were not designed or created to do. In walked the feministic movement, and on is getting out of control. And then men had to counteract that by bringing in manosphere. Now we got the world is jacked up, and then they bring that stuff in the church. In walks your pastor, who's having a problem with the first lady. She ain't taking care of business. She ain't rubbing them down. She ain't knocking the boots. She not cooking, cleaning, all this and all. The first lady he got is the mistress in my first book. She's a mistress. And a lot of pastors married their mistresses. Am I in trouble yet? Mm-hmm. Wrong topic. That beats you talking about eternal security. wrong topic. I'll save that for the end though. Let me put a thingy on it. Mm-hmm. So let me go back. Let me go back here. Nothing is his fault. Please. I screwed up all my relationships. Yes, I did. Number 11. He tries to provoke you. He's unstable. Guys who do this are emotionally unstable and looking for a fight. If you notice him trying to provoke you, you need to bail fast. Get out. At best, you're dealing with a jackass. At worst, you're dealing with an emotional predator. Get out. And it's not just the man, the woman. My ex said she wanted me to beat her. She wanted to know why is it that I'm so calm, cool, collect, even kilt. When we disagree, I don't raise my voice. I don't scream. And she said, have you ever thought to just hit me? Why don't you just hit me? That disturbed me greatly when she said that. Then I realized that she was used to that kind of relationships where men were dominating in her life to the point where they got physical, where they might have hit her. And she interpreted physical abuse to he loves me. And she probably saw that in her home with her mother. Her father might have beat the mama. And she saw that. He perfectly said, I wish you. And I said, this is sad. I'm not that guy. I can't do it. I can't do it. I've never seen my father. Obviously, my father, I've never seen him lift a hand to do anything against my mother. And he never raised his voice against my mother. I never, in the 17 years I lived in that house, I never saw my parents argue. I mean, like raising their voice? Never. In 17 years that I lived in the house, and the rest of my life, I never. Why? They did not want to let us see that. I know they argued, but I never saw it. What did they do? They say, leave the room. Or they just go up in their bedroom somewhere. Never. So there's no excuse for me to be arguing with a woman. I never saw it. So I don't argue with women. So my result is walk out, which is not the best thing to do. But because of my struggles in life, or my inability to not know what to do in that situation, my resolve was walk out. Walk out. Not realizing just walking out was not the right answer. Because then what it did was it caused her to be more provoked. But my answer was walk out because I can't take it. I didn't have the ability to, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Now, the way I sound like on the Sirwalterj Jones show, this is the reasoning guy talking. This is the counselor talking. But when I'm in a room with people who disagree with me, I let them talk. They can raise their voice. They can scream. I said, Are you done? Are you done? You done? Okay. All right. What's for dinner? I'm done. And then they'll, wait. You don't want to talk about this? No, I can't, because until you calm yourself, until you calm down, I'm not into, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? I'm looking for a word or a phrase. I'm not into those kind of matches. It just doesn't help me. It doesn't help us, that is. It doesn't help us. All right, let's go down here. That's number 11. Number 12. When he tells you about his past, things aren't adding up. Uh-oh. Things aren't adding up when he tells you about his past. Beware of any guy who past seems to be missing large swaths of history. Yeah. Large swaths of history. Thank you, Beverly Williams. That's the word I'm looking for. Confrontation. I'm not confrontational. Not face to face, I'm not. Nope. I don't like it at all. This could be a sign that he's living a double life, or he's been locked up. Yeah. Number 13. He's seriously image focused. There's this between regular shallow behavior and a guy who needs to look like who? Adonis with the Aphrodite looking wife. Body dysphoric disorder. 14. He's really, really, really religious. And y'all know that ain't me. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. I love. Yeah, I love the Lord. But no, I really talk about my faith and what have you when I'm out there on the street. I talk to people like regular people. I just talk to y'all. But you know that I am a religious man based off of my actions. Who said it best? It was Saint Francis of Assisi. What was the name of that town? Assisi? Somewhere. I can't remember how to spell it. He said, preach the gospel. And if need be, use words. I preach the gospel every time I go out there on the street. All this religious banter, y'all look kind of crazy. You sound crazy. It's hard for you to win people because you always speaking in tongues. God this, God that. Funny thing about that, Jesus didn't need to do. He did not need to talk like that. Thank you, Treska. He didn't need to talk like that. He didn't need to talk like that. No, they just wanted him because how he carried himself. You can't quit pointing it out, but sometimes what? Oh, I'm sorry, quiet. You can't quite point it out. But some things, women's intuition. Women's intuition. There's something there. I want to play T.D. Jakes. I want to play what T.D. Jakes said. All right? Where is it? Let me look at my brain to see where is it. It's on Instagram. Okay? Let me play this, and then let's talk about this. See if it's gonna play. Is it gonna play?
They don't miss you until you're gone.
That's not it. That's not it. Where you at, Jakes? I'm gonna talk to you. Jakes, where you go?
Do you realize that men get angry when you out-talk them? That your tongue is your weapon and that you can win the battle and still lose the war? The right word spoken by a good woman in a bad situation can make a man fly. You know how you are about your children, come hell or high water?
Right.
I'm down for you. Well, most of us had that with our mothers. And then we marry you. And we watch you give it to your children. And this is what I want you to understand. I'm not blaming you for where they're broken, because they were probably broken in some way when you got them. I'm telling you how to minister to the brokenness without emasculating the patient. Okay? If you got a man that life has beaten and he comes home to a woman holding a whip, don't be angry when he looks beat down. Do you realize that men get angry when you out-talk them?
Ministry. Now that's true ministry. I agree with him. I do agree with him. How a woman responds to her man is vital to his whole life, and how he's even going to respond to someone on a job, a police officer, his own children, everything. Just because you can say something, I mean you should, ladies. All right? You shouldn't. So the emotional unstableness of men, a lot of times it has to do with a woman that was in his life. Again, it could have started with his mother. But when I got married, I wanted my wife to play her role. And so I allowed her, if I realized that she was a cuddler, I let her cuddle. If she was a nurturer, I made sure that she nurtured. I believe that Adam gave Eve all of the rights and privileges that God created her to be, and she did what she did. All right? She became a helpmeet for him. My father did the same thing for my mother. Okay? One of the problems I see here, though, is we're not understanding what our roles are. I told you my story when I was doing my Romance in the Park series. One episode I talk about how I was very hurt at church, and I needed somebody to comfort me. Thank you, Andronicus Seals. Bless you. Thank you for the super chat. I needed someone to comfort me. A pastor hurt my guts. He hurt my feelings, that is. He hurt me so bad. He just said something in church one Sunday night. I was there all the time. I was there, very faithful. I mean, always on time, everything. And then this other musician walked in, and he gave this man the praises that belonged to me. And y'all know I don't look for praise, but at that moment, it's like, wait a minute, but why would you do that? I'm sitting here, and this man walked in who ain't never there, and you just praised him, and you never ever said anything positive about me. And while he was talking, my heart just fell to my shoes, and I wanted to cry. I don't remember ever feeling that kind of hurt before. And I've been stabbed severely in the chest and in the back. My whole face was in half. I mean, I was left for dead. That's physical pain. Emotional pain can feel either just like or worse than a stab wound. Y'all better hear me. And while he was yet talking, I got off the organ, got in the car, and drove home. That's how hurt I was. I cried all the way home. I didn't go to the bar. I didn't go to the strip joint. I didn't go grab some weed. I didn't get no liquor. No. I went home to my wife. Do you understand? I went home to my wife, and I told her the story. And I kneeled, she was laying in the bed, I remember, and I kneeled at the bedside. And like in a worship position, I kneeled. But it was more like a helpless position, like a baby position. In my book, I often say that there's a little boy in all men. Mm-hmm. Ladies, until you understand that aspect, you will never know how to live peacefully with a man, because there is a little boy in every man on the earth right now. That little boy is there. I see it in my father a lot. And my mother knew what to do with that boy when it came out. The boy goes to sleep, like my grandson Amir, and that boy wakes up in every man. The boy came home that night, and I kneeled at my wife's feet. At that Citronice, I was vulnerable, wide open, like surgery just happened, and they didn't close me up yet. And I put my head in her lap, weeping, sobbing. Now your turn, wife, woman, your turn. What she says or does next can either restore him or destroy him. Do you hear me? What she says next can either destroy him or give him life. And I was praying that my wife said or did something that did the life part. And sometimes what men need is that you say no ting. You say nothing. That's it, Tina. And they will always show up. You have to be able to recognize it. My wife said nothing but, it's okay. And she rubbed my head. It's okay. I didn't need a philosophical speech. I didn't need you to grab Google encyclopedia and find some words that you could hardly pronounce. I needed mama. I needed a woman. I needed a nurturer. I didn't know what I needed, but I just needed it. And she said, it's okay. Strength began to come back into my bones because she knew what not to say and what to say. And that was, it's okay. And then once I got myself together, she then began to empower me by saying, you are the king. She says, you are a great king. Look at your work. Look at your body of work, baby. Look at the people you have impacted. No one man can kill that. I went back to crying, but this time it was a cry of joy. You're right, baby, you're right. I'm powerful. That little boy just woke up. Come on, little prince. Come here, little prince. And she put the cape on me. Put an S on my chest. She pick the little boy up and swing him around as if he's flying. And he go, wee, I'm flying. That's what she did. I was the little boy. You are a king. You are one of the most powerful men I've known. You are a wonderful provider for your family. I am, ain't I, baby? Yes, you are. Yes, you are, baby. Yes, you are. Oh, she was messing me up, Dinah. Dinah, she was messing me up. So everything that man had said to me, it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. At all. Come on, Brendan. Society has killed a little boy inside the modern man. Yes. Ridding him off. I can't see tonight. Of his vulnerability instead of encouraging the strength of vulnerability. Ooh, come on. Brenda, that's good. Yes. Make that man cry. Now, here's the flip side for you brothers. Is this. Pastors, elders, ministers, You've got to start to learn to trust your woman by telling her everything. Y'all better hear this part. Because if I could just go back in time and tell myself this part, I would be even a better man today. Now, I know it depends on the woman. So let's just assume this is a good woman. Okay? Brothers, if you're going to go into ministry, tell your woman everything. Do you understand? Let's start at the beginning. If you all are dating, you can't tell everything because you just don't know yet. So there's some things you do have to drip slowly over time. I get that. But if you're falling in love with someone and you know that's the one that God sent you, I think it's time for you to have a meeting, sit down, paper, pen, whatever you need to do, and say, let me tell you about my life. And I mean get naked, like Tina says, but a different kind of naked. Here is what I've done in life. Here's everything on the table. I love you, you love me. Here's me. I'm taking this chance with the hopes that you still will have me after what I'm getting ready to tell you. Tell her everything. I mean, if you know, and you know that's the woman that's going to be in your life forever, tell her. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because how can she be a help meet for something she don't know much about? How? I hid a lot of secrets when I was in my relationships. I didn't tell. So what happened? That stuff started popping up. She in a room with somebody and then they say, hey, by the way, wait, my man? Yeah. You didn't know? He didn't tell you? You better start telling her. Because if you tell her stuff, then she will know then how to protect you or how to get the help that you need. Y'all better hear me, brothers. Especially if you're a pastor, an elder. You in ministry, you better let them know. That woman right there have been inboxing me. That woman right there has been texting me, or that woman right there has been trying blah, blah, blah. Tell your wife, let her know. Better hear me. She can't protect you if she don't know. When I was young and married. My wife was smarter than I thought she was. I've told this story years ago. I playing the organ after service. This one girl would always come up to me and say, hey, Brother Jones, you're my brother. I love you. And she'd hug me. I'm like, oh, I love you too. Sister so-and-so. I forgot her name. And then she would present me a tie. Here. I was at the store and I saw this tie and I want you to have it. I'm like, oh, wow, thank you, sis. Oh, it's okay, brother. Took the tie home. The next Sunday, after service. Hey, brother. Hey, sister, how you doing? Here, I was at the store yesterday and I saw this tie. And I said, boy, I tell you, this will look real nice on Brother Jones. Here. I'm like, wow. Oh, man, this is even nicer than the last one. And Ann is saying, oh, no. Ann is saying, oh, no. This is even better than the nice one. Thank you, sis. Oh, you all right? It's okay, brother. You know I love you. I love you too, sis. Well. Ann said, you tear me up. All right. The third Sunday. Y'all, I'm not playing. This is a true story. Come on, Sharon. Sharon got it. Sharon got it. She said, brother, I got another gift for you. I was like, boy, you keep buying me gifts. I mean, these are nice, but good Lord. Okay, I'll take it. We driving home. My wife couldn't take it no more. My wife couldn't take it. She like, that girl like you. I said, huh? What girl? Sister so-and-so. Get out of here. Y'all, again, remember, I was 22, 23. I was stupid. I was dumb and stupid. That's sister so-and-so. That's my sister in the Lord. She said, okay. That girl like you. She wants you. Shut up. You just my wife. You don't understand. We get home. During that time, there were no caller IDs, y'all. So you know this was in the early 90s. Okay. No call ID. And we had, oh man, I don't have the phone. Hold on. I found it. I found it. This is from my props from my 70s show. We had this phone. And it had this long, some of y'all still got this phone at y'all's house, right? It had this long, this long cord right here. Okay? And it hooked, it's in the kitchen. All right? It's on the kitchen. And grandma or mama would have the phone outside on the porch. Okay? The phone would be out on the porch. This was the cell phones. This is the pre-cell phone age, okay? This was our cell phone. Mama would be way down the street. Sometimes my mama was next door one day. She was next door. Or we just followed the cord all the way next door at the neighbor's house. She on the phone. Okay. And you know it took 3 hours just to dial outside of the country. You know, you had to be patient, boy. Don't mess up. Do not mess up. Because if you hit the wrong number, let's start over. Okay. But at least you didn't have to put in area codes. Back then, we didn't require an area code. Chicago had one area code, 312. That's it. You just dialed 7 numbers and you could. Okay. So we had one of these phones. And the phone rang. And my wife picked up the phone. Hello? Hung up. All right. She went back to cooking. La 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 la. She said, hello? Click. Come back to cooking. La 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 la. The phone went. And my wife said, it's for you. I'm in the other room, in the living room, watching TV. Babe, it's for you. I said, huh? Who is it? She says, her. I said, her who? The Thai lady. The Thai lady? Yeah, Thai lady. It's for you. She says, when it rings again, you answer the phone. I said, okay. Please, God, please don't let the phone ring now, Jesus. I've been good. I've been a good husband. I've been a good father. I go to church every Sunday. I pay my tithes and oh, Jesus. She said, it's for you. Answer the phone. Now she's standing right next to the phone because the phone was in the kitchen. She said, it's for you. Answer it. So in slow motion, I reach for the phone. I'm shaking. I'm doing this. I pick up the phone. I said, hello. And on the other end, the girl says, hey, Walter. And I said, ah! I screamed like a little 12-year-old girl. I said, hello? Who is this? Who this? She said, this sister such and such. So, was that you calling like 3 times before? Yeah. And why didn't you say who you? Because your wife answered the phone. I'm like, oh God, oh God, I'm in so much trouble. I'm in so much trouble. I said, okay, well, what do you want? I like you. I'm like, and so you called my house where my wife lived to tell me that you like me. We got one phone in the house. One phone. I didn't understand even the concept of a cell phone. So I didn't know how to explain it to her. So I got one phone in the house. You call that phone. During the evening when my wife would be home, she answered the phone. You hung up on her. You tried and called back 2 more times and hang up on her. And now I'm talking to you while my wife is standing right here. Hey baby, you know I love you. You sure look sexy. I said, you may not want to call here no more. I see you Sunday. I'm joining another church. She said, that was her one. I said, baby, you right. Baby, you right. You right. You are right. I forgave. I apologized to my wife. I'm sorry. On and on and on. I let her know, man, listen, you right. How dumb was I? Well, I was 22. And I didn't know. But that helped me understand. That moment actually launched this book. So it took 32 years for me to write this book because of that one moment right there. I didn't understand women. I didn't. And for years after that, the ring on my finger was the attraction. So brothers, if you're in ministry, what I suggest you do is tell your wife everything. She can't help you if she don't know what's going on. Some of the mistakes that you made, if she leave you because some of the mistakes that you made, she didn't love you. Now, I'm not talking about you cheating and stuff like that. I'm talking about some mistakes that you made. Like before y'all got married, you could tell her stuff like that. Or while you married, you might have did something. And I'm talking about outside of infidelity, because an infidelity situation can be a bigger problem, and that is a case-by-case basis. Some women will accept you. Again, you may not get none for a while, but she will take you back. Okay, that's another show, infidelity. But outside of that, there's a lot of things that, if she leave you because of some of these things, you need to find out if she really loved you, because maybe that was her way out anyway. Maybe she was already on her way out, and she just needed you to tell her that one thing. Oh, finally, here's my excuse to get out of this, because I don't like him. Elizabeth said, did you get back in the ties? No, my wife knew what to do with the ties. I didn't have to give them back. My wife threw away everything, including my old love letters that I had from girlfriends. I had a shoe box, and I called it The Life and Times of Walter Jones. And it was old letters, and my diary was in it and all that stuff. I came home from work one day, and she threw all that out. And to this day, I have issues when I think about what she did. Issues, because she could have told me. We could have had a moment where we sat down and opened up the box and had a burning the mortgage moment. I would have done it with her. But what she did was she just tossed it, threw it in the garbage, and made sure it was garbage pickup day so that I'll never see it again. And it hurt me. It hurt me real bad. Not that I was attached to all these women. It's just that was my memories. All right. And if you didn't like it, you should have sat down with me and said, listen, it's time. Everyone said, burn, baby, burn. It's time. I was hurt for years over that. All right. Hey, Ron. Is Ron still here? Ron is probably in the bed, y'all. Ron is in the bed. All right. So what do, y'all? Emotional, unstable men. What do? Try your best to get them some help, the help that they need. You can't always help them because sometimes you the problem, ladies. You might be the problem why they're unstable. You might be the one. All right. But if you can, get them some help. Your pastor may not be the one who can help them. Sorry. I'm sorry to say that. Thank God for my former pastor, Bishop Carlos Moody, who sent me and my wife to a counselor outside of the church because he realized I know Walter. I've known him a long time. What he needs is above my pay grade, and so he sent me to a counselor. I respected that man because of that, and I stayed at that church because he realized that he can't fix all our problems. So we went to someone who's degreed, who had all these degrees on the wall, who spent all them years in school. We talked to him. And did it help? Sure did. You know what it helped? It helped me get out of that marriage. Uh-oh! Did I say that? I sure did. You see, when people come to me for marital advice, meaning they want to get married, I try and talk them out of it. More so than I try and say, you need to do this, go ahead, you need to get married. No, I try and talk them out of it. Get out. Don't do it. Don't get married. You don't want to do it. If you can get through me telling you you can't, you shouldn't, don't do it, and I tell y'all all the issues, and you still want to do it, then we can talk about let's come in together. So that man helped me realize I was in a dangerous situation. He didn't say get out, but when we got through, I was out. You do that too, Jerome? Oh, yeah. Y'all better help me. Why? Because my marriage counseling lasted 30 minutes. And we was married. We got married in the pastor's study. Danny DeVito in the War of the Roses, exactly. Y'all better hear me. I say this all the time. My marriage, my counseling session lasted 30 minutes in the pastor's study, and then we was married right then. Bam! And I had to live off of the 30 minutes. No, that's not happening. Not with me. I take the people who come to me, I take them through a grueling exercise and tell them, no, y'all ain't good for each other. No, y'all don't even like each other. Stop playing. No, yeah, we do. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you shouldn't do this. No, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. Here's why you shouldn't do it. Why? Because I want y'all to stay together. Ron went to bed, y'all. Ron went to bed. So I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do a show where Ron comes on, and I'm gonna have to do his stuff early in the show because Ron's body said, "I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I can't do it." I love me some Ron. Ron Pringle is such an encouragement to me. I love that man. I love him. I just cannot wait to meet him personally. What a blessing he is. He's a rare breed. Full of intelligence. A lot of y'all don't realize that man is full of intelligence. All right, so I haven't seen the video yet, so I wanted to play it at the same time. Y'all see it. I haven't seen it. It's 5 minutes long. I know it's good. All right, tomorrow, those of you who want to come to the Book of Revelation class, do me a favor, please. Update your Zoom app. Can you please do that? My staff has been working really hard to make sure that these Tuesdays work that goes without an issue. So do me a favor. Update your Zoom app on your phone. All right? Do that now. Update the app. So you won't have a lot of these problems. And then you'll be able to take the pop quiz tomorrow night around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, maybe, because the teaching starts at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's 8 o'clock over there in New York, folks. All right? And Florida, folks. Book of Revelation, we in chapter 2, 3, and 4, I think it is. I'll figure it out. And it's been great to see. We had 160 people show up, and tomorrow I'm expecting the rest of y'all to come show up. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Bam! Hit the bell notification so you know we're live. If you want to be a part of those Zoom classes, the email is in the description below. Giftedfriends at @1@gmail. Giftedfriends @1@gmail. And you want to be a part of those classes, hit me up an email tonight, and I'll send you the Zoom link. I've been sending the Zoom links but all day today, and so you all should have it. Everybody should have that link. It's the same link we use every week. Butch, Brother Jones, R.L. Jones, Butch was waiting in class tonight. Butch, my dear friend, I love Butch because he was waiting tonight. He sent me an email. He says, "Where are y'all?" The thing is just spinning. I said, "Butch, come on, man. We're not on till tomorrow." He's he said, "I'm doing too much." He's a minister. He ministers to men and women who are incarcerated, and every Sunday. So he's a workaholic, and I thank God for what he's doing. Not too many men take that time out to do stuff like that. All right, so I bless him. All right, Tanya Parrott's birthday is tomorrow, y'all, so we'll wish her birthday tomorrow. She's trying to get hers in right now, so we ignoring it right now. We're ignoring it right now because her birthday tomorrow. Somebody asked a question. I think 2 questions right quick. Y'all stay with me for about 5 more minutes. There's a question that came on here. This is I believe in eternal security. I do as well. I think that I am saved. Well, praise God. I know that I am. Can I be saved if I still have violent thoughts or if I act on them? Yeah, you sure can. You have to put on if that wasn't the case, if we thoughts don't make us unsaved or saved, and sometimes it does, depending on what the thoughts are. We really have to be careful because or terima. I thought I explained terima, Jerome. Okay. I'll look at that tomorrow. I'm saying this because the Apostle Paul gave us the instructions on putting on the full armor of God from the top of our head down to the sole of our feet. The feet are prepared, the feet shod with the preparation of peace. Okay, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate, and all this stuff or the shield of faith, all this stuff. Okay, put those things on because the Satan is constantly coming after you. You're so welcome, that is, Beats. Satan is constantly coming after you and trying to get you off kilt. All right, and so we look at some of the the apostles who also had some struggles here and there, and the Spirit was trying to teach them some things. All right. And so just because you have some thoughts doesn't mean that you're not sheltered in the arms of Christ. It's just that you have been pulled in maybe by some of the worlds and the vicissitudes of life. Some men still struggle on some things. They may not act upon it, but they have some thoughts about it. And that doesn't make you not saved. That just means that you just need some help. Sometimes it's spiritual and sometimes it's just physiological. That's why I talked about getting someone professional therapy help. Because there are many Christians out there who suffer with you. I'm not saying you have mental illness, so please know I'm not saying that. But there's some people who have some mental anguish and stress that they need to sit down and talk with somebody to get them through that. I believe in counseling. Wholeheartedly, I believe that counseling absolutely work, especially when it's someone who was a believer who went to school and now is practicing counseling. I believe in it wholeheartedly. All right, as much as I believe in drinking water every day. And so sometimes you have to talk with someone to try and figure out what is this. Okay, sometimes the counselor can determine whether this is a mental issue or it's a spiritual issue. Okay, and then you go to the Lord, and the Lord can heal you and clean you up of all it, or even of your thoughts. All right, and so yes, I do not cast people out because they have some thoughts of doing stuff. Just don't act on them. Helmet of salvation, there it is. Shield of faith, breastplate of righteousness, there you go. Thank you. Belt of truth. Sword of the peace, shoes of the gospel, armor up. Come on, I love that, Dinah. Obviously, you can tell it wasn't all King James, but you know. All right. There was another question tonight. Someone asked a question about relationships. Okay, I'm getting them in here. Thanks for your prayers. The surgery went well. Brendan Banks, amen. My recovery is steadily ascending. I appreciate it. Amen. Banks went into surgery. The Lord has blessed him. The healing is coming. We thank God for that. Tresca, do God give visions like he gave to John in Revelation? I know you probably won't answer my question now. Well, you don't know me because I'm answering now. He sure do. Maybe not like how John received it. That was something extremely special. So God is not going to use you to give anything different than what he gave John, because that is the revelation of Jesus Christ. And we have the canonized book. We don't need any other information other than what we have as it pertains to the wholeness of the picture of the movie was already written. There is no part 2 of the movie. There's no part deuce, a trilogy of the movie. There is no what do you call the movies that, like Star Wars came out and then they came out with the beginning of Star Wars, how all this happened. What they call that, y'all? What is it, a prelude? Whatever, okay. Nobody's getting that information. All you're going to see is what's already in the text. All right. You may have the privilege of a prequel. Thank you, Monkey Moves. You're going to see visions of what Jesus has already gave the church. Like the apostles, they laid the foundation already. So God is not setting up new apostles and they're giving them new foundations to lay. No. That makes God a freak of nature. He's not doing that. He spoke. That's it. He don't need to speak anymore about eschatology. We already know the story. So anybody going to come to you with more stories, you need to question that. Unless what they're seeing is already in the text, he's not going to give you a newer revelation of what's going to go on in the new in the new days. You know what I'm saying? Just not going to do it. Now I stand full hard on that. Because if he giving it to you something new that's not in this text, and you don't have a major platform like John do, run, y'all. Run. Run. All right? And I know I'm going to get some slack for that. I don't care. I live for slack. Somebody asked a question, who was this? Why men today choose not to marry? This was a woman that asked that question. They choose not to marry for the same reason why women choose not to marry. Same reason. They're not marrying for a plethora of reasons. Especially if they're young. Millennials are not marrying. They're choosing not to marry. Okay? They're choosing not to. And for various reasons. They feel that it's just better. They feel more happy because they've seen what their parents went through, what their brothers and sisters went through. They said, I don't want marriage. No. Marriage there's an attack on marriage. People don't want to do it because of the attack. So they're saying, no, I don't want it. Number one. And number two, they're happy. I don't need a man to do this. I don't need a man to do that. So in walked a powerful woman who says, I don't need men to do nothing for me. And a lot of those women, they usually talk about money, cars and wealth and prosperity and all this stuff. They don't need men for. That's true. Women are CEOs. They got their own businesses. They don't need a man for a lot of that stuff. But I tell you, they do need a man to raise children. They need a man to, first of all, if they want a child, they need a man for that. And if they want to raise a child in a healthy family, they should have a man there present. So yes. Number three, there's something that God put in women that made her a helpmeet. All right, that DNA is in her. Whether she says she don't want a man and I can do fine by myself, there's something in her DNA that is there that she's just ignoring. And it doesn't mean that she have to get married, because I do not believe, emphatically, I do not believe that all men should be married. I don't believe it. No. Hence, we have all the problems that we have today because people thought that they were supposed to get married. They got married, and then now they're on the third and fourth marriage. I don't agree with that. Some people, even Jesus brought that up about the eunuch. Okay, some were just ordained to be single, and singleness can be a gift. Some people shouldn't get married because of some of the things that they do as for a living. For instance, if you're in some kind of government position where your life is in trouble, or maybe some kind of position of security, what have you, you shouldn't have a family because your family's lives are in stake, are in trouble, or in danger. Okay, so you should be single. Don't take on a wife and then the kind of job you have now you're putting her life in danger because you got married. It's a whole bunch of reasons why people either don't get married or they should not marry. You bringing somebody else into a dangerous situation. Maybe you have some kind of internal disease or what have you, and you ain't telling her about it. Then y'all lay together and what have you. Now she got that disease too. Maybe you're homosexual and you trying to get married to this woman because you're trying to psych yourself to believe that you're not a homosexual, or you're trying to let the public believe that you're not a homosexual, so you get married to a woman, knowing good and well that your desire is to a man, if you're a man, or vice versa. So now you bring this woman into your homosexual world, and y'all do, heterosexual stuff, but your mind is constantly on another man. And then what happens is these men eventually at nighttime or whenever, he's somewhere with another man, and then he brings things back to her bed. All right, and so there's a lot of reasons why people don't get married, and there's a lot of reasons why people should not marry. I hope that makes sense. Come on, I am going a web of lies. God said the woman's desire would be for her husband after the fall. That's it, Letha. Like I was saying, you got it. There's something in her that God put in all women, and a lot of women will reject it. They reject it. And hence, in walked a woman who lays with a man, different men. These women who lay with man after man after man, date man after man after man, and then move and go to the next one. She don't know what to do, what God put in her. So she's just doing this. She's doing this when she should settle with one and just be happy. She don't know what to do with this. And a lot of times these powerful women. And she is in my book. She is the last woman. Her name is Phoebe. I'm sorry. Her name is Lilith. Lilith, girl D. That's that girl. All right. She's got some serious issues. And a lot of her issues is mental. Okay. There's something that was putting her. She wants to be happy. I just want to be happy. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm looking for the page for those of you who don't have the book. Man, one of these days I'm going to read this book again. One of these days I'm going to read it. Girl D is page, oh man, I don't know. Hold on, y'all. I want to find it. I want to know. What? Oh, there she is. Chapter 6, Girl D, Fatal Attraction. Boys and girls, I remember sitting among the clergy one Sunday morning and caught the eye of a beautiful woman staring at me, and I didn't know what to make of it, and it really didn't matter much because I was single and was hoping and praying that she was too. This went on for a couple of weeks until I finally built up enough nerve to ask her out. And she said yes. And before you knew it, we were going out every day. You pretty much found us. What? You pretty much found us everywhere. Oh, in clothing stores and restaurants and parks and even in her house. Ooh, I remember it well. One day I called her to tell her I thought it was just too much and that we needed to slow down. This girl D, y'all. Out of nowhere, she began to scream on her cell phone, all while driving to my place to confront me. It was at that moment I realized that she was the one dictating the relationship. She started doing background checks on me and calling former employers. She even used some Jedi mind trick on me to keep me henpecked until one day I finally broke free and ran for my life. Girl D, Fatal Attraction is her. That's Lilith. Crazy. This is the The girl that Martin Lawrence played in the movie, what's it called? What Love Got to Do with It? The one in the key your car. I bust the windows out your car. That's this one right here. It occurred to me that I had dated this woman before in other cities. All of them used sugar and baited me in. All right, you got to read the book. That's page 74. Read it again. Some of y'all out there is Lilith. Lilith is that woman in folklore who got who was Adam's first wife, I believe. Again, folklore. And she was a nasty chick because she wanted to do some sexual positions that was not allowed, and then he banished her from the garden, and well, she then entered into the dreams of men and children, and so they would sing a lullaby and good night, da 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 da. So lullaby was derived from Lilith. They would say Lilith goodbye. It was something that you needed. You know how you take salt and you all the superstitious stuff. So she would enter into the dreams, and she was the evil dream of fertility and what have you. It's a long story. So Lilith goodbye turned into lullaby. Long story. All right. I think I've said enough. I wore your patience. Ron went to bed, and we all need to go to bed too. It's almost 11 o'clock here in Chicago, which means it's midnight over there where y'all is. God, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your blessings. We thank you for these people who are here, who have been listening and learning and expressing what they know. This emotional, unstable men, help. All we can say, God, help. Help them. Because many of them are pastors. They're leaders. They're fathers and husbands. They need your help. There's a chain broke. Something's loose. And if you can just mend and mold them back together, empower these men so that they can be put back into the place that you placed them, you created them to be the head and not the tail. So they can provide for their families and to protect their women and love their children. Do this, oh God. We'll give your name the praise in Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen. 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 Anicia, what you saying? There are some women get married because they need to be rescued because she has daddy issues or something. Mommy issues too. So they think a man can help. There's one man. Wow. You better preach this. That's good stuff. One man that can help, and that man's name is Jesus. Anicia, you preaching this gospel right here with your pretty face. Y'all look at that pretty face. Boy, I tell you, the bunkers are some of the most beautiful folks. They are some of the most beautiful folks in the world. I mean beautiful. I thank God the Lord has blessed us with beauty. It was a very good lesson. Listen, yes. Come on, Beverly. Thank you so much. Good stuff. Amen, amen, amen. Joe said, good night, fam. That's true. Some women do rebel against men. That'll be part 2. Won't be tomorrow, though, because tomorrow I'm going to be tied up teaching this book of Revelation. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock. See y'all there. Zoom tomorrow. All right? If you can't get on, you can't email me while I'm teaching. I won't respond. So don't say, hey, I can't get on. What's the code? And it's 7 o'clock. I can't respond. I'm teaching. All right? Some of y'all crack me up with that. All right? Some of y'all crack me up. I can't help you with all your technical problems. So here's what I suggest many of you do, especially you older saints. Go on YouTube tonight and learn how to use Zoom. Blessings, CJ Robinson. Love you. Go on YouTube, type in how to use Zoom, and watch it tonight, and then watch it tomorrow. All right? And trust me, you'll be a Zoom expert after that, and then you will know any type of problem that you have will be answered in those YouTube sessions. How you think I learned Zoom? How you think I learned this software? I mean, everything that I got in my house, I learned from the YouTube gods, free of charge. Although I pay a premium YouTube, I pay YouTube every month, the premium, because some of the things that I need YouTube to do for me. So you don't need to pay like I do. All right, free. Everything I've learned, YouTube. I'm talking technical stuff. Use it to your advantage. Come on, monkey. You can YouTube anything. All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves and one another. I see you. Bye-bye.
Girl A. Sex is her superpower. This woman got skills. But
I hit the wrong one. I was trying to pay the other lady, but I can't find her. Here she is.
Girl A. Girl A. Sex is her superpower. This woman got skills, but adds no value to him. Girl B. Her brains and beauty is her birthright. She's his eye candy and his arm piece. Girl C. She's his momma, his teacher, his better half, his soulmate, and the apple of his eye. Girl D. She's dangerously desperate. She's his thin line between love and hate, and his fatal attraction. All that and more in the 7-volume book series, The Men's Chronicles, A Woman's Guide to Men by Sir Walter Jones. Volume 1 is entitled The 4 Women That Men Desire. Go to Amazon.com today for your copy.
Well, goodbye. 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 Enjoy yourself. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Bye. Well, goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Hello everybody, this is Alexa, Sir Walter's wife. Thank you for listening to my man. Tune again tomorrow for the Sir Walter Jones Show.
Sir Walter Jones Show. Goodbye.